I guess we could try and bring it back to crypto. I mean, if my take on it is, I think that you saw a bunch of people get really rich in crypto, and you're like, hey, wait a
Yes.
second, I want to get really rich too.
Yeah.
So like, what are these guys doing? And then you end up buying the top. So like,
Yes.
I did it. I bought the top at 30, bro. I know exactly how it works. The,
So do you buy the top now, or do you wait? Do you wait? Is
I
it? Is
mean,
it? I know overnight or the last couple of days there's been a pullback. Is the pullback going to be further? I know you're guessing. We're all
I
guessing.
sure. I think that, so traditionally there's some very steadfast, reliable technical analysis tools that I believe in, and that I think if you look back at charts, you'll see those patterns. And one of those is when you have a parabolic rise up, when you fall out of that parabola, you dump 85% in crypto. That's what you do. And if you're an altcoin, you usually dump 90, 95%. That's how it works. Bitcoin goes up and 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 up. And then for some reason, it dips 50%. That seems to be the
Yeah.
magic number. It can survive 40s, tons of 40s. But as soon as you get a 45, 47, 50, the punch in the nose is too hard. There wasn't the same buying pressure to keep making bigger green candles faster and faster, which is what a parabola is, or a parabolic exponential rise is. And then people sell. Why? Because the price went down. So people sell. Why? Because the price went down. So people sell. Why? Because the price went down. And you get the inverse of people bought. Why? Because the price went up.
Yeah.
And so it's reflexivity. And so I believe in that. And I think you got the world's richest guy. I think you got the governments. I think you had a huge price run up. And, if they raise rates and the stock market takes a hit, crypto's going to take a hit. Every time stock market gets punched in the face, crypto gets punched in the face. Not everything, but
Yeah.
Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then almost everything else is tied to this. So I like to post these heat maps, and I like to say, hey, the floor is lava. Look, everything's red except stable coins and hex, because we're decorrelated. Like we move to the beat of our own drummer. So I brag about that whenever it happens. Whenever the market all dies and everything's dead, like today, I mean, it's down. Bitcoin and Ethereum are down 20% over the last 2 weeks, or over the last week. So
Yeah.
making new lows today. So it. I believe in 85% dumps in Bitcoin. I've seen a bunch of them. I believe in reflexivity. I don't believe in people paying millions and deca millions of dollars for serial numbers loosely related to JPEGs, which may not be hosted on the internet anymore. It disgusts me. It makes me sick, and I don't believe it's sustainable. And I think the fees are too high. And these are the same exact things that we saw in the 2017 top. Oh, by the way, who's the Tonight Show host? Do you know his name? That guy?
In
He states
Jimmy Fallon.
Jim and Fallon. He changed his profile photo to an NFT picture. And
Yep.
then some other really famous guy did that. And you're just like, okay, is this the top now, please? Can we please have the top now? So that all this stupid, overpriced $1 million JPEG crap can go to zero, please, because it ain't healthy. Like, what
Yeah.
exactly better thing? How are you making the world better? This particular art is generated by computer. It's not even
Yeah.
actual art. It's just permuted crap. And you're like, this ain't good art. It's trash. It ain't worth these numbers. What are you guys doing? Imagine when Bitcoin came out, instead I had bought a stupid JPEG instead of Bitcoin. It would have been a huge error. So,
Yeah.
like I if let me put it to you this way. If you wanted this market to look more overheated and more risky to buy, what could you add to it to make it look more stupid and more risky? I can't think
Yeah.
of anything to add. Like, it's maximum silly currently. So now, if everyone had already sold the bottom, if everyone had already had the chance to sell an 85% dip, I'd be like, fine, okay, those guys are out. Let's go play again. That's what it normally does. So now look, that's my thesis for Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything else that's correlated with that, which is almost everything else. I think
hold off,
Hex,
basically, what you're saying with all that stuff. With that stuff, you're saying,
bro,
don't.
what are you
Don't
going to get
now.
a 2x? Are you going to get a 2x? Is Bitcoin going to go up to 120K? You got a 2x. How long are you going to have to wait for that? And then when it dips hard, man. So like,
Yeah.
you know, Ethereum's been overperforming to the upside, but it's only dipped the same. So, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum have dipped like before we started the call 19%. So
Yeah.
like Bitcoin was like 19.06 and Ethereum was like 19.24. And you're like, yeah, same dip, but Ethereum's been running up more because Ethereum's more useful technology and it's on-ramping more users and you can do more stuff with it. And so, I mean, you would buy Ethereum over Bitcoin and in my opinion, now look, I'm biased, I'm the founder, but go look at the chart. Like if you go to the Hex price chart and you click log scale, no, I'll teach you something about investing that I almost guarantee you don't know, and I think will be real useful for you and everybody watching to learn this. There's this button called log on all of your price charts. You should click it and activate it. Why? Because otherwise you lose all of the useful information on the left side of the chart. So when you have something that makes I'll reverse it for you guys at home. When you have something that's making exponential price rise and you just watch it on linear scale, all of this is flat. There's no resolution, no detail at all. And then it's just a vertical line at the end. And it's always that way. And so if you don't use the log scale, all of your charts are a big vertical line at the end and no resolution at all, nothing in the beginning. But when you actually scroll back to the beginning, these are 80% move up, 50% move down. These are giant, massive moves back then, but you never get to see that visually because you're not using log. So when you click log, it brings all this resolution and detail up so you can actually see the moves back then. And then you don't have this big stupid vertical line at the end. And that's a reason that it's on every single chart that you see. You should be using the log scale because this is what exponential growth does. When Bitcoin goes from a penny up 6.5 million X to 65,000, it actually did 69,000, well, 68,354, something like that. I'll just call it 69K. You know, when Bitcoin did that, which by the way, I predicted a couple of years ago in Malt on stage, yay, I called 60K. You need that resolution that the log scale gives you, or you're just wasting all that visual space. And that's what a chart does, is it turns numbers into visual space that you can reason about. So, and it also makes the dips look reasonable. So people right now will complain about, you know, this 20% dip, but then you look on the log chart and you're like, yeah, we're just back to like 2 weeks ago price.
Yeah.
You're like, hey,
So
it's easy to just complain about the dip, but you're like, the vast majority of people bought lower.